Nobody checks on the strong one, and the strong one rarely asks them to. There's something that happens when you become known as the person who always holds everything together. People begin to assume you're okay, not because they don't care, but because you've shown the world a version of you that always copes. And the world believed it. You became the person people could rely on. The steady one, the calm one, the one who somehow finds a way through. You listen, you reassure, you quietly carry what others cannot. And after a while, something begins to change. People stop checking in, not because they are unkind, but because strength creates an illusion. From the outside, it looks as though you don't need anything at all. Over time, you become the place where people leave their worries, their grief, their frustration, their uncertainty. You make space for it. You help people breathe again. You steady conversations that feel too heavy. You carry more than anyone ever asks you to. But very few people stop to ask the question that matters most. Where does all of that go? Because it doesn't disappear. It settles quietly. One conversation, one responsibility, one difficult moment at a time, until one day you realize you are carrying far more than your own life. The difficult part is that people who carry a lot rarely complain. Life keeps moving. Work still gets done. People still need you. Responsibilities don't disappear. So you keep showing up. Even when something inside you feels deeply tired. Not the kind of tired a good night's sleep fixes. The kind that arrives so slowly, you almost don't notice it. Until something small happens and your patience is gone. Or the tears arrive without warning and you find yourself wondering, why has this affected me so much? But somewhere inside, you already know. For many people, this pattern didn't begin in adulthood. It began much earlier. Maybe there was chaos. Maybe there was loss. Maybe life asked too much of you before you were ready. Without anyone meaning to, you learned that if you stayed steady, life kept moving. So strength stopped being something you did. It became the role you quietly stepped into. And over time, it became the role everyone expected you to keep playing. Sometimes the body notices before we do. It asks us to slow down in quiet ways. A tiredness that lingers. A mind that never quite switches off. A patience that's harder to find. Not because we are weak, but because even the people who seem the strongest have limits. And perhaps the hardest part is this. People who carry everyone else don't always struggle because help isn't available. Sometimes they struggle because somewhere along the way, they stopped knowing how to receive it. They became so used to being the one who gives that receiving began to feel unfamiliar, almost uncomfortable, sometimes even undeserved. When you spend years being the reliable one, asking for help can feel surprisingly difficult. Not because you don't need it, but because it no longer feels like the part you are meant to play. So instead, you carry one more thing, and then another, quietly. But carrying everything alone was never the definition of strength. Sometimes strength sounds like, I'm finding this hard. Or, could you help me with this? Or simply allowing someone to sit beside you without feeling the need to make everything okay. Because support doesn't weaken us. It's often what allows us to keep going. And something else happens when we allow ourselves to be seen. We quietly give others permission to do the same. We remind them that strength and vulnerability can live together. That even calm people become overwhelmed. Even capable people need care. Even those who always seem okay need someone to ask, how are you really? So, if you have become the person everyone depends on, let me ask you something. How are you? Not the version of you who keeps everything moving. Not the one who always knows what to do. Just you. The person underneath all the responsibility. Perhaps you can't put everything down today. Life doesn't always allow that. But maybe you don't have to carry quite so much by yourself. Maybe someone else can hold a little of the weight. Because even the people who seem the strongest need somewhere to rest. And perhaps that's the quiet truth we'd forgotten. We were never meant to carry life alone. If this reflection found you when you needed it, I hope you stay. Here, we make space for the quiet conversations so many of us carry inside, but rarely speak aloud. If you'd like more reflections like this, I'd love you to subscribe to my Quiet Unfolding. Until next time, take gentle care of yourself.